In July of 2012, a quiet declaration sent a tremor through the foundations of human identity. At the University of Cambridge, a group of the world's most prominent neuroscientists put their names to a document that formally, and finally, acknowledged a truth that ancient wisdom has whispered for millennia. They stated, with the full weight of their collective evidence, that the neurological substrates that generate consciousness are not unique to human beings. They announced that mammals, birds, and even creatures as seemingly alien to us as the octopus all possess the hardware for conscious experience. Science had finally caught up. It drew a line in the sand and declared that we are not alone in our awareness. But this scientific confirmation, as profound as it is, only opens the door to a much deeper, more significant question. If they are conscious, what is the nature of that consciousness? If an animal experiences a world, dreams a dream, and falls into a deep, restful sleep, does it also share the silent, foundational awareness that our traditions call the self? Does an animal, in its own way, experience turiya? Welcome to I Have a Cause. Today, we step beyond the human-centric view of spirituality to explore the vast, shared ocean of consciousness in which every living being swims. Our journey begins with a map, a framework for understanding experience that comes from one of the most profound texts ever composed, the Mandukya Upanishad. This ancient scripture describes our entire existence as a play of three states of consciousness, all unfolding upon a fourth, silent reality. The first state is the waking state, which the sages called Vaishvanara. This is the world you are in right now, the world of the senses, of tangible objects, of your body interacting with a seemingly external universe. Then, when the senses withdraw, we slip into the second state, dreaming, known as Taijasa. Here, consciousness is directed inward. The mind, using the subtle impressions left over from the waking state, creates its own world, its own dramas, its own landscapes. Finally, we fall into the third state, deep, dreamless sleep, called prajna. In this state, there are no objects, no dreams, no thoughts. This blissful ignorance is the seed state, from which both the dream and waking worlds emerge each cycle. Now, let us extend this map beyond ourselves. Look at the dog sleeping at your feet. Watch its paws twitch, its breath quicken, a low whimper escape its throat. Neuroscientists have confirmed what every pet owner intuitively knows: animals dream. Research on cats in the 1960s showed that when the brain mechanism that paralyzes the body during sleep was disabled, the cats would get up and act out their dreams. They would stalk invisible prey, pounce on phantom mice, and arch their backs at imaginary foes. This is, without a doubt, their own experience of Taijasa, the dream state. They possess a rich, internal world, a subjective cinema, just as we do. Consider their waking state, their Vaishvanara. Watch a pod of elephants gather around the bones of a deceased matriarch, gently touching the skull with their trunks in a ritual of remembrance that can last for years. Observe the complex social politics of a chimpanzee troop, with its alliances, its acts of empathy, and its sense of fairness. This is not mere instinct. This is a complex inner life, a world of relationships, emotions, and intentions. The German biologist Jakob von Uexküll gave us the beautiful concept of the Umwelt, the unique perceptual world of an organism. A bat's reality is a symphony of echoes. A dog's world is an intricate map of sense, a tapestry of information completely invisible to us. Their waking state, their Vaishvanara, is different from ours, painted with a different palette of senses, but it is a world nonetheless. It is a rich, valid, and complete experience of reality for that being. And what of prajna, the state of deep sleep? When you see an animal utterly lost to the world, breathing deeply in a state of perfect peace and stillness, what are you witnessing? You are seeing a fellow being experiencing the same temporary dissolution, the same return to the blissful, undifferentiated source from which we all emerge. The body-mind instrument is at rest. The unique sensory world has vanished, and consciousness has folded back into its own silent potential. So we see the three states clearly reflected in the lives of animals: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. They are moving through the same cycles of experience that we are. And this leads us to the ultimate question. The Mandukya Upanishad says that these three states are not the full picture. They are like waves appearing and disappearing on the surface of an ocean. The fourth state, Turiya, is the ocean itself. Turiya is not another state after deep sleep. It is the silent, changeless, ever-present substratum of awareness upon which the other three states depend for their very existence. It is the screen on which the movies of waking and dreaming are projected. It is the silence that underlies the noise of the world. Turiya is not something to be achieved or attained. It is what you fundamentally are. It is the ground of being. If this is true, if Turiya is the fundamental reality, the source of all, how could it possibly be exclusive to humans? If an animal experiences the waves of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, must it not also be grounded in the very same ocean? The argument is not that a dolphin or a dog can sit in meditation and perform self-inquiry, or vichara, to intellectually realize its Turiya nature. That capacity for abstract, self-referential thought is a specific function of the highly developed human intellect, or buddhi. The argument is not about realization, it is about existence. Turiya is the silent witness in the cat that dreams of a bird. It is the formless awareness in which the eagle sleeps. It is the foundational consciousness that animates the whale, as it navigates the vast, dark ocean. The experiences are different, the perceptual worlds are different, but the fundamental screen of awareness is, and must be, one and the same. This is where we can use an analogy. Imagine consciousness, this Turiya, is a vast, invisible electrical grid that powers the entire universe. It is silent, omnipresent, and is the source of all energy. Now, scattered throughout the universe are countless homes, each representing a different species, a different life form. A firefly's home might have just one tiny LED light, which uses the electricity to blink on and off in a simple pattern. A dog's home is more complex. It has a high-speed fan representing its ability to run, a sophisticated security system for its senses of hearing and smell, and a small television that plays movies of chasing rabbits, its dreams. The human home is a smart home. It has all of this, but it also contains a powerful supercomputer. This computer can not only perform complex functions, but can also run diagnostics on the house's own wiring. It can analyze the nature of the electricity itself, its voltage, its source, its properties. The supercomputer can become aware of the grid. But here is the crucial insight. The supercomputer does not create the electricity. The tiny blinking LED in the firefly's home is powered by the exact same electricity as the supercomputer. The power grid does not care whether it is lighting a simple bulb or running complex analysis. Its nature is one. It is indivisible. To mistake the appliance for the power source is the fundamental error of the ego. We, with our self-reflective intellect, are the supercomputer that has the potential to realize the nature of the grid. But every other being is an appliance, large or small, simple or complex, running on that very same universal power. The Mandukya Upanishad itself points to this universality. In its seventh mantra, it describes Turiya not by what it is, but by what it is not. It negates all possible experiences. It says it is not that which is conscious of the internal world, nor that which is conscious of the external world. It is unseen, beyond transaction, ungraspable, without distinguishing marks, unthinkable and unnameable. Then, it gives a crucial clue. It calls Turiya Ekatma Pratyaya Saram, the essence of the consciousness of the One Self. It does not say, the one human self. It is the singular essence behind every I, from the ant to the astronomer. It is Prapankapasamam, the cessation of the manifested world, the ground where all phenomena, including all beings, find their rest. Finally, it declares Sa-Atma, that is the Self. This universal, all-pervading silent awareness is the ultimate reality of everything. When we combine this ancient wisdom with modern science, the picture becomes breathtakingly clear. The Cambridge Declaration proves the existence of the appliance, the conscious mind in animals. The concept of the Umwelt explains that each appliance has a unique function, a different way of experiencing the world. And the wisdom of the Upanishads and sages like Valala reveals the nature of the power grid itself, the one, universal consciousness that powers them all. Science describes the different movies playing in each theater. Vedanta describes the singular silent screen that makes all the movies possible. This realization must radically reframe our entire relationship with the animal kingdom. The hierarchy we create, placing human consciousness at an untouchable apex, is revealed to be a product of ahankara, the ego. It is a story we tell ourselves to justify our actions. From the perspective of Turiya, from the standpoint of the self, there is no hierarchy, only manifestation. The life force and awareness pulsating in a honeybee, and the one illuminating the mind of a genius are sourced from the same eternal, indivisible consciousness. The only difference is the complexity of the instrument, the body-mind complex, through which that one consciousness expresses itself. This leads us to a profound and unavoidable ethical conclusion. Compassion is not a virtue to be cultivated, but the natural state of an awakened mind. If an animal is a fellow manifestation of the same self, grounded in the same ultimate reality, then to harm it is a form of self-harm born of ignorance. The belief in human superiority, known as speciesism, is seen for what it is, an egoic illusion, on par with racism, sexism, or any other ideology that creates a false other to dominate. The barrier we erect between human and animal is a feature of the waking state, a construct of the mind that dissolves in the unity of deep sleep, and is seen as fundamentally illusory from the standpoint of Turiya. This philosophy is not an abstract thought experiment, it has severe and immediate implications for our world. It stands in direct judgment of practices like industrial factory farming, where conscious, sentient beings are treated as unfeeling machines for the production of flesh. It calls into question our destruction of natural habitats, which is not merely an environmental issue but an act of mass violence against the homes of countless fellow expressions of the self. Protecting a rainforest becomes about more than preserving biodiversity. It becomes about respecting the sanctity of a city inhabited by conscious beings. And it all comes back home, to the quiet moments in your own life. This understanding transforms your relationship with the animals you live with. The pet in your home ceases to be a possession, a source of amusement, and becomes a fellow traveler, a silent guru. When you look into your dog's eyes and feel a connection of pure, uncomplicated love, you are witnessing the one self communicating with itself, across the illusion of species. That animal is a living, breathing lesson in non-dual reality. It lives entirely in the present moment, free from the anxieties about the future, and regrets about the past that plague the human mind. It reflects your own essential nature back at you, stripped of ego, concepts, and language. It is a mirror to the silent, peaceful awareness that is your own true self. The journey of I have a cause is a journey towards the death of the other. We have seen how this applies to other people, other cultures, other beliefs. Today we take the final, most radical step, dissolving the boundary between ourselves and the animal kingdom. To see the self in all beings is the culmination of wisdom. It is the point where philosophy becomes love, and love becomes the only way to live. The animal is not below you, it is alongside you. And in the deepest truth of your being, it is you. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If these ideas resonate, if they cause you to look at the world, and the beings within it, a little differently, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support allows us to continue exploring these vital questions. And for our Tamil-speaking audience, a full Tamil version of this episode is also available, where we explore these concepts with the richness and nuance of our mother tongue. Look into the eyes of the next animal you see. Don't just see a creature, see a fellow traveler on the same mysterious journey, powered by the same cosmic light. See yourself,